Hey y'all, Michelle Raza here with the Finding Yourself Book Club. Today we're going to continue discussing Lindsay Gibson's Recovering from Emotionally Immature Parents. We have been focusing mostly on the exercises out of this book, although I did cover some of the highlights in this chapter which we're on, which is called How to Resist Emotional Takeovers. Please do like and subscribe. It really does help us little YouTubers. And if you get a chance, please check out my website. We're at www.findingyourselfsatx.com. There you can fill out a free life balance questionnaire and send it to us for your first free consult. You can also just fill out a contact form and we'll be in touch. If you're not already a client, the first consult is always free and there's no obligation thereafter. It is me that will respond if you try to chat on the website. I'm not always the best about getting back to you super quick, but I will get back to you. So yeah, thank you. And without further ado, we will continue with Lindsay Gibson's work here, which is just amazing, like all of her works are. So the last video we talked, the questions went over, or the exercise went over questions to ask yourself when you're in the midst of an emotional takeover. And today what we're going to start with is identifying whether you really have an obligation. When EIPs have a crisis, they make you feel obligated to help. This is the first stage of their emotional takeover. Their problem is your problem. If you hesitate and want to think things through, they essentially react with, "I can't believe you're not doing this for me in my time of need." But your job, in the face of this implied accusation, is to step back and ask yourself whether you really do have an obligation under these circumstances with these events in play. Otherwise, you will be yielding to a full emotional takeover by giving them the right to decide, giving them the right to be the voice of your conscience. No one but you has the right to define your obligation and duty in a relationship. The EIP's urgency implies that you have no choice, but of course you do. You are not a bad person for wanting to think it over or to look for ways to help without sacrificing your own well-being. Remember to ask yourself, is this an emergency? Is this the best solution? Is this my responsibility? You have the right to examine for yourself all the things they think you should do. Clarify everyone's responsibilities by considering what's me, what's them, and what, if anything, is really an obligation. When you start feeling compelled by duty or obligation, ask yourself who's suggesting that and why. There can't be only one acceptable option, not when two or more people are involved. By working together, you two could figure out something that works for both of you. Ask yourself, as Byron Katie suggests, is this obligation you feel an absolute cosmic truth? Rational inquiry will reveal that one EIP's opinion isn't the only way to look at things. Step back from enabling them. Enabling is when you rescue people from the repeated consequences of their own actions or do things for them that they could do on their own. Enabling weakens the resourcefulness of the other person because you continue to make yourself the answer to their problems. You are agreeing with them that their problem is impossible for them to deal with by themselves. Enabling offers the EIP the right to take over your life. Decide beforehand what you are willing to give. Think in advance about what you are willing to commit to, under what circumstances would you intervene, and when would you not. This should be a detailed, thoughtful exercise made far in advance of the next call on your assistance. Have some idea of your acceptable limits before you enter their distortion zone. For instance, you might be okay with paying their rent 1 month, but only if you give the money directly to the landlord. Or you might be willing to assist but only after they've done some things to help themselves. Those decisions should come from you, and you have the right to ask questions about their situation and not accept their assessment at face value. You might be able to suggest other forms of help they can't see from inside their distortion field. Bert's story. Bert got a panicky phone call from his younger brother, Tom, asking for a $10,000 loan for what Bert thought was an impulsive solution to a larger debt problem. He encouraged Tom to give it some more thought. As a delay tactic to slow down the situation, Bert also asked Tom to write down the details of the whole situation for him. This would give Bert some space to think about what he was willing to do. Plus, it would give Tom some practice in sitting down and working through a problem by writing. But Tom was offended. He didn't see what good that would do and just wanted the money. Tom's irritation revealed his underlying assumption of entitlement. Tom expected Bert to give him $10,000 and yet was affronted by a reasonable request to specify in writing the nature of his problem. No lending institution would contemplate a loan without the same request. Exercise. Prepare for the next time. And so just like in the other videos, we're going to do this a couple times, although it will be somewhat back to back, so I'm not sure. I maybe should have started with that. I'll just do it once, just because I don't want to be super annoying. I'll do it once, but if you can't bring yourself to do the exercise the first time, as always, take some time, pause the video, go get your journal, and when you're ready, you really do need to complete the exercises. It's super hard. It's hard for me too. People always tell me, Michelle, you need to take your own medicine. I'm like the dentist with bad teeth. But for sure, just take some time. If you just want to listen to it this time around and then watch the video again and then do it the next time around, that's fine too. Okay? Exercise. Prepare for the next time. Think of the EIPs in your life who often expect you to go along with them or give them help. Prepare yourself for the next time by making a list of everything you would or wouldn't be willing to do. It should range from things you wouldn't hesitate to grant, like they are thirsty and you give them water, to things that give you pause. They want to go on a family vacation. All the way down to requests you could refuse with no guilt. They want you to buy them something expensive because their friends have one. On the continuum of these possibilities, imagine and rank hypothetical future situations where you would or wouldn't want to help. You may never face these exact situations, but this exercise will give you practice in thinking about your comfortable limits beforehand. Okay, so we covered the exercise in this video. Next video, I will continue on how to resist emotional takeovers. There's not another exercise in this chapter, so I'll just cover the highlights of the chapter. And then after that, we will continue on to Chapter 5, Skills to Manage Interactions and Evade Coercions, Actions that Empower You. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. It's Sunday here for me, right before Labor Day. So we have a holiday tomorrow. I'm thinking of taking my daughter to SeaWorld. She loves that water park. So she wants to go down all of the scary slides that I'm too much of a chicken to want to go down, but I'll go on them for her. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Please do like and subscribe. Tell your friends the same. It really does help us. And then if you get a chance, check out my website, www.findingyourselfsatx.com. Take care, y'all. Chat soon.